We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas and have wonderful guests. And I have a guest favorite for you today. I think you'll be happy that I have Jenny Lee coming on. And we haven't done a show for a while. I've been having difficulty, so I'm hoping we're going to try this live, and hopefully it'll work okay. But if there's any problems, please let me know in the chat, and we'll take it from here. And so let me bring Jenny on.
Hey.
Hi, Jenny.
How are
Welcome. I'm good. I'm hoping this really works because I'm very concerned about, future shows if I'm having problems. We have satellite here, and when it's cloudy or when it's raining and nasty out, we don't get very good reception. And but it's the only thing that's available where I'm at this time, because I'm in a very rural area. But anyway, that being said, there are a lot of people that have been wondering when we were going to do a show again. So hopefully we have a couple people in the audience already. It's quite an ordeal moving across country and then trying to get settled and find out where things are, where stores are, where the people you're staying with, all that kind of thing. So
Yeah,
anyway.
but I think you're more happier there. I think the energy's better for you and everything.
Oh, thank you. I like it here, and it is better. I'm very happy about the move, and it was really quite the move, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
And especially since I don't really know anyone here except the people. I didn't know them before I came here, and so
Right.
they're lovely people that are letting me and my son, and actually another woman, stay here until we find our place. So that's really good.
How's that hunt coming, looking for a house or a place?
I haven't had a chance to really look very much, but
Yep.
I can tell you one thing that I've discovered is that it is housing is cheaper here, far cheaper than it was in Sedona. That's for sure.
Oh,
I mean, they were
yeah.
I was just going to end up on the streets there because every year they were raising the rent, and it just got too high. That's all there is to it.
Right.
And not to mention some of the other things going on there. But that's a whole nother story. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy that this is working now. I have a different setup. I have different lighting. But somebody said it looks good and sounds good. So thank you, I am. And thank you, Mathis. I'm glad to be back. I was really worried there for a while. But so anyway, Jenny, what have you been hearing from Spirit, or what did you want to talk about today?
Well, I mean, there's so much. I mean, it's been a while since I talked to you. Maybe you can ask me questions, and then we can go from there. Anything that you feel that's on.
Okay, we can ask the audience if they have any particular questions as well. I guess everybody's concerned. What about the energies that we're feeling right now? There's a new moon that's today and it's supposed to impact people. Do you know anything about that?
Well, and I don't think it's just the moon. I think it's a lot of things that's going on. and that's the whole process with this is we're like yesterday and the day before where they're talking about the Jimmy Carter, and I know I'm like, yeah, I remember him dying and dying. You know what I mean? So it's just funny how these realities are um, changing.
He was cabal.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
Um,
So it's just changing how things
oh,
are.
Jingles asked about debt clock messages. Have you seen the
Yeah,
debt
I've been
clock
looking at
lately?
them, and there it's you can tell we're going into transformation. So once it changes, then we're going to be all good.
Uh-oh.
So
It just says
so
YouTube isn't
and
showing me as live.
I watched the debt clock. I keep an eye on and I looked at it last night. And me and Jeep are usually up till 3 in the morning, all the time doing the geometry stuff. Uh, and so the thing is you want to know what's going on. And then I did a drawing on a ruby chair, which all this process that's coming in, all this financial stuff it's happening, but people think it's going to be right there. And it's everything in this process that's happened with the awakening has been a backstage presence. But if you're paying attention to the right thing, you know what's happening. You can see and sense it. You know, um, especially drones, but those are not the original drones. It's what's behind them. It's about the bigger ships. All this stuff is happening, and we're just kind of like, what? No, there's no way. Yes, there's a. It's what we're looking at is a list that we're checking off. That's the whole thing. Completely checking off what's going on. So it's
Wow.
changing. So I
What,
mean,
what's your take on all this fog that's being reported around the world?
so remember I talked about the pink fog that's going to
Yes.
roll in.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
there's white fog, and even white fog is up on Humble Healing 1, which it's about transformation as it hits you. So are things hidden? Yes. Is this energy that that's hitting Earth, that things are happening above us? Yes. Do I think this color of fog is going to change? Yes, because I talked about
Oh,
the pink fog.
you think it's going to turn from white to pink? Oh, it's kind
Yes,
of grayish.
because the pink is about the end. That's the signature of the end. The pink is about the calmness that comes after the storm, that it's done. That it's like a tornado at the end of the storm. It hits, and you see the beautiful skies. But the important thing was the fog was supposed to go very low to the Earth's atmosphere. And that's kind of telling you it's a sign spiritually that things are being done. But the pink, it's not the white fog, it's the pink fog. The pink fog's important, but you're seeing the pink colors in the sky. You're seeing these different colors that are showing up. It's all pink across the board.
Yeah,
Pink.
see, someone from Surrey yesterday said that the fog was off the charts.
Hmm.
And so, what you're saying essentially is, at some point, this fog is going to turn pink.
Yeah, because they've
Is it?
said it was going to
Yeah,
be pink.
yeah.
So I'm
Okay.
not settled with the white. I'm like, oh, maybe they're getting you ready, but I mean, this looks like a London fog. And we have it here. We had it here today. I mean,
We have it too. It's here too.
yeah, so it's been in several places. So it's an energy, a frequency you don't see this time of year. And so it's presenting, it's being pushed down to the atmosphere. So I'm waiting for the significant colors to change with it. That's
Oh,
what
look at that. Okay, first of all, people are getting sick from the fog, and that's happening all over the planet. What kind of sick is what I'm wondering. I don't know if it's from the
yeah.
fog, but um, this is the other thing that
I
just came up.
can
We
tell
had
you
pink overcast.
all that process of the you call it the new epidemic they're trying to put out there. a new scare tactic for the 3D people. Do not give it power. Do not give it strength, because all you're getting it from is the media. There's no true journalism out there anymore. They are not
There hasn't
showing
been
you.
for quite a while.
No, because they would go in the trenches of stuff and show you stuff. And now everything's a set stage. I mean, you would have to have someone there to really trust what's going on. So they just say stuff, throw it out there, and then it's done. My whole group is probably like, why didn't we get noticed? I'm like, because me and Gail weren't sure that this is going to work. And we're like, hey, we're just going live.
Well, Dorina says they had a pink overcast today. Where are you located, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I'd like to know where you're.
Well, she has another thing. If she'd tell us where you are, that'd be interesting to know. People who get sick are the ones who believe in the rapid test. The rapid test.
Ones that
What
get
does
sick
that mean?
are to believe they are a rapid test.
I don't know what she means by that.
Rapid or rabies test. I don't know. Might be a rabies test. I don't know. I mean, I'm not feeling that presence in that fog. I would be warned. That's like kind of marking the door at the time of Yeshua, when they marked the door of the babies that would pass away. I think it was for the male.
Oh, yeah. All the firstborn males, our firstborn child.
Yes, so that's not happening. So I'm just saying that I mean, this might be in a process of flipping the table, is what I get. You know how Yeshua flips the table on the debt?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the thing is,
Righteous anger.
yeah, well, he flips the table on with the evil and gives, and says enough is enough. The enslavement is enough. A time of abundance and taking care of humanity needs to be here now. So I would not want to be one of the negative ones right now. I'm just telling you, I can feel that energy is strong around
I'm wondering
us.
I wonder if they're the ones that might get sick. You know what I mean?
Oh, the negatives, yeah. Because I talked about something hitting New York, and Jeep said the other day, it's going to be New York. Watch it be New York. Because I talked about this dismantling of seeing these programs and that they would stop in the middle of the street. Is it going to happen New Year's? Is you going to see something different on New Year's in New York? You might. I mean, calling that process in. So there's different things that are going to happen on this process of things. So, yeah, it's a hard situation that we're dealing with.
You know what? I just thought of this, Jenny, and it is probably very relevant. There are a lot of people that might be getting sick because they went out and got a flu shot, which happens to contain the same thing as the COVID. Okay. So that is not advised for you to do. None of that stuff. None of this. None of this. Stop it. I don't care what it is. They're putting it in everything. Don't do that to yourself.
Well, this is the thing too. It's all the fear process too. I mean, there's a chain effect with this process. And you go into it and then they say, hey, this is what's happening. Your body's reacting and waiting for it and it's opening up to it. You just take that process and not turn that into an existence that your body is in control. Your body's in control of the situation. Your consciousness in control of what you are taking on. And the fear is a part of that process. You just need to stop doing that. I mean, we're at a process in life, I think, where we're at our limit of what we're taking and we're done. We're like, this new process is about peace, tranquility, the new age. We're going
prosperity, abundance, good things.
Yes. We're not doing this old stuff anymore. We're not going into that process anymore.
And everything that they seem to try to do just doesn't work.
Mm-mm.
and
No,
it's going to continue not to work. And so
exactly.
we are on a positive timeline right now, I believe.
Oh,
Would you agree
yeah,
with that?
but I think it's
And
futuristic too, though.
I do too.
And I think they're showing you that it's
That's why
part
I
of the
put that
future.
picture up there. Our picture, our thumbnail. We're
Yeah,
moving into a new future, and it's positive. And even though there's stuff that's happening around, people need to just observe and just, not keep the peace. Like we were saying, we've said many times, walk through the fire, don't even let it bother you.
no, don't, because all it's going to do is going to cause chaos by you feeding into it. That's the whole process there. So yeah, I'm in a process that I'm just like, just allow the existence of the positivity of the energy that we've been downloaded daily and charged daily and went through frequencies daily, that you need to start depending on that's there in this process. So yeah, it's scary for people that, because the 3D existence is not there anymore. It's a hard thing to get them to understand. It's not there anymore at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, uh, and most people that I are in that high understanding, uh, they know that these timelines are switching so fast, so incredibly fast. And and so are we going to go through that again? Probably. You know, um, in this process, and I think that has to do with the dismantling. And I was thinking this morning how far we are going to go back in the number of year that we're at. And they're saying that we're not at this year. I think we're going to go back a long time, going back in years. And this is where you want to test yourself when you start to see price change, and you're like, what the hell? Why is that cheap? You know what I'm saying?
I know I
What?
saw that that gas is cheap here. I
Yeah,
mean, compared to where I was, it's not it's less than $3 a gallon,
right.
which is pretty amazing because it was
Yeah,
over $4 in Sedona, in Arizona.
exactly. I mean, that's
So
the whole thing that's changing. It is cheaper and where we're at and what we're doing and all that stuff. But the whole thing is, um, I'm talking about food. I'm talking about services and stuff. I mean, that's going to be a shock to us. So how do you implement change? You're going to change the price, put it down to a low process cost so people can afford it in a different way, and then they're going to ask the question, so why is it so cheap? See, that's the programming right there. Like,
yeah,
get
really.
out of that programming.
Yeah,
Get
that's
out
so
of the
true.
programming.
It's like you have to catch yourself too. I mean, there's so many different things that we've been programmed that just aren't the way we thought.
Hmm. Exactly. So
Um,
it's changed in a different process and a different way of things. So um, yeah, you just gotta work on the whole process of, like, okay, I am not calling the 3D reality anymore. That's the whole thing. They keep thinking that is reality. Yeah, we're walking in the existence of that right now, but it's in such a dismantling phase um, that we're in our own space. We want to stay in our own space. We don't want to deal with reality. We stay inside, and that just tells me, that kind of reminds me of those stasis uh, things that Spirit has showed me, that you're just in a stasis and you're looking and viewing and deciding what is reality and what is not, but you're not interacting with anything that's a lower frequency at any level of that. But then there's these higher vibration situations that are occurring right now. You know, um, I mean, and my friends, just a couple of things that have happened. I think Kimberly and Jeep, and there's different ones that know me, and they're like, we would not believe this from anybody else but you, because your reality and what you deal with changes all the time. You know, so the ones that are working together, there's a collective of energy that's shifting and changing, and they're communicating, they're talking. It's just like the gematria. I mean, I'm telling people, keep an eye on that. Keep going into that. Keep using that, because there is a spiritual language that's being communicated through gematria. And you get in there, it's addicting. So the whole thing, the language is changing, the vibration is changing, how we're communicating is changing. The media from the past is completely being dismantled in front of your eyes.
Yay!
In front of your eyes. Because everybody that's on those outlets, I call them, is the fact that when you get on there, you're asking yourself every time, is this real? Is this fake too? This fake too? That's not news anymore. When you have to check in and wondering if everything on there is a fake situation. It's not
Isn't that
news.
terrible? I mean, that it's just sickening. Um, it's like I don't even want to listen to anything anymore. It sounds terrible to say that, but
Well,
I
what
keep
you're
hearing the same
saying,
things, and it's
the shows, some of the truther shows, so they'll take one narrative, and I'm just going to tell you this. They'll take the one narrative, and just because the rest of them are taking the same narrative, and they'll write it out. And like, you're doing the same thing the media is. How about be creative? And Gail, you know what I'm talking about. It's a chain effect. They don't have anything to share anymore. They share the same information. I'm going to use this bird stuff they want to use. It's everywhere on the truthers. I'm like, why are you talking about this? Why are you feeding this? Why are you putting it in them? You know, because it's ridiculous right now. They jump on it, and I'm just like, I'm not doing that. It's not a reality. It's not a conscience. They're feeding it. They're designing it. They're making it. And then you got all the ones that people trust, and then they jump on it. Don't bring it into reality on this process. Not until you see real journalism from it.
that's where I am, Teresa. That's just like what we're saying. I can hardly listen to most of them anymore. It's like it's the same old, same old. Can-
It is the same stuff. And
and we've
it's
been hearing it
almost
for 4 years.
pull the plug. Pull the plug. Pull
Yeah,
the
really.
plug.
Pull the freaking plug.
Yes. Because it's not only that, the energy of the people that are listening, they're so tired of being tired. They're so tired of not being enlightened by something. And they want something new. You should have heard. I mean, when you were gone, everybody's like, "Where's Gail? Where's Gail?" You know, they were starving for Gail. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing. They want that true person. You know, they have figured that out. And this is the thing. It's just changing on the information. And then I said, when the cord is completely pulled on this situation, YouTube's going to be like a ghost house. It's like, hello, anybody here? You know, it's going to be quiet because they're going to pull. You know, and I saw. I'll bring it up too. Which one is Ursula and Tinkerbell? And those don't look like the same people anymore, which was part of the UFO community and all that stuff. I mean, you can tell by
There's a lot of that.
oh
There's
my
a lot of
gosh,
that. They're
they're
replacing
not.
people left and right. And did you? Oh, what was it?
It's
Somebody was calling
funny.
them
Oh my
cabbage.
god. I tell people, you want to know if they're real? You want to know if they're real? Move the neck. Move the neck. Move the neck.
Yeah.
The neckline. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So, and the whole thing, it looks all silicone. I mean, they're just coming up with stuff left and right on the process. So, because we're down to the fact, it's the light or the dark. What do you serve? So they're pulling the dark off the outlets. They're pulling the dark and they're replacing them, and they're giving them. They're saying we're taking these platforms. We're going to start using them to give good information. So that's the whole process with this. And you know, and I've said it over and over and over and over on even on my YouTube on my show. I'll tell them I have a problem debating, but you know what? It never happens. You know why? Because they don't want to be called under the carpet on anything anymore, because it's too close, or too close to the end of this. And Spirit told me, eventually they're all going to take their bag of money and they're going to go down their hole into the ground again, and they're going to disappear. And on this process, when everybody's waking, you're not going to care about that. You're going to care about the abundance, the light, the frequency, the goodness, all of it coming in. That's the thing you're going to care about. And this is the thing. It's kind of like when I do mediumship in a gallery. You could have a bad reader that doesn't know anything. And once that one reader comes in and gets all the information, that's what they remember is the truth, the goodness. Follow the light. Okay? That's how's the dark of the truther community and all that stuff is gonna dive off, because you're gonna follow the light. You're gonna follow the light into the truth. You're gonna follow that energy that's abundance, and everybody's gonna be joyful and happy. All that stuff is just gonna go move itself back into the darkness again. So that's where we're at. We're repeating this whole process all over again.
I'm going to bring this up real quick, but before we get too far past this comment, and that is the nanos are silicone. Apparently, they get out with nicotine. I had posted a video on my Facebook page, if they didn't take it down, that shows nicotine destroying the nanobots in a solution. So nicotine patches could be very helpful if you're feeling sick, because if you got that flu shot, you got the other one as well. So, and that may be a way to fight it. I just wanted to throw that out there because Dorina said so, and it's true.
Exactly. So,
okay.
Yeah, so things are, completely changing in our process and what's going on with everything,
Meg's, she said her oldest sister thinks a moving timeline is nonsense. I wouldn't even talk about it to my sister.
Well, I'm going to tell you what's changing. And I talked to Jeep about this. My face, the way the energy's coming in, I was like, what's going on? And she goes, what's wrong? And I go, it feels like time's backing different direction. Like I'm not feeling, I feel like fulfilled in the body. It's changing. I'm not feeling the pains. Something's going on with this frequency of how our skin's reacting to it and everything. I'm just saying. And it's using it, applying it, nourishing it. There's a lot of things that are happening. And you just got to pay attention. If you took a picture of your face a couple, from now to 2 weeks from now, things are changing in a different way. As humans, we age, but not on the other side, they don't age at all. So it's hard for us to fathom all that stuff. Are we going into these healing process? Yes, but this is the thing. How do we get there? You have to believe. You have to understand frequency. You have to understand energy. Someone that's very, very, very in a bad way and is not open to anything, like I said, it's like magnets. It's just going to sit. It's not going to go anywhere. And I feel like this energy is coming in. We're not afraid of it. We're taking it in. It's doing something within us, and we're allowing it in. And my ear's going up right now. And those cells are changing. So however that's going to be, and we go into that crystalline, how are you going to tell? Pay attention to what your body's doing, and then 2 weeks from now to see the difference that's already changing. We are the med bed, and it's the enlightened ones. There's stuff changing. I'm just telling you.
Okay. Teresa said, seems the timelines have converged, and that's why there's so much crazy all over.
I think it was maybe a week and a half ago. I felt like timelines, two of them crashed together.
Chris, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. It was about, yeah.
and
I even noticed that too.
it was a super crazy situation across the board.
Oh, speeding up, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like I get up and all of a sudden it's the end of the day already. The days go really fast. The time is speeding up. Things are accelerating.
Yes, they are.
Uh,
And again, people think that they're going to come in with this title and they say, okay, it's done. No, it's already happening in layers, and you're seeing it happening. You're also seeing your government completely being dismantled. You're seeing other countries getting in line. You're seeing Canada become a part of the United States. You're seeing the regions come together. I mean, it's all there. It is all there. But we want it in a 3D process because it's been fed to us before. No, no. You've got to read. You've got to pay attention. You're, of course, the normies aren't thinking anything's going on because they're not reading that information. They're reading the stuff that TikTok puts on, all the stuff that they think is part of the real reality. No. And if anybody wants to check into reality, why don't you look above your skies right now? It's not normal stuff that's happening anymore. Seeing a UFO is a normal thing now. And those drones are going to come down lower and lower and lower. You're going to see them in the cities, and the 17 cities it's going to be around that too. But I'm going to tell you, New York, New Year's Eve, you better be watching it because there's something new coming in. And how they're going to present that, and everybody's focused on that, that would be the time to bring that in. So whether it's the debt, the watch all the clocks that they have on, because there is a debt clock in New York that shows you that. And whether it stops completely, freezes, something's happened on that date and in that city. So New York's something you need to be watching closely.
okay, well, what about LA?
LA is just going to go into a big pit of darkness of that area that I've talked about. That is, deterioration. They were talking about water, hearing a sound, like a boom sound, and you're thinking it's on the ground and it's in the sky. So there's these sounds that are going to come in a frequency way. They told me about Mexico and having a crack open, just like a chain effect going up. That spirit showed me that. So
Wow.
the chain effect that's going up, but that's still that coastline. I talked about this on my YouTube recently because they wanted an update, and I'm like, don't kill the messenger on this. So it's still those areas that I showed in California, but it's going to go up the coast, and any house that's on that coast between that Orange County area and up towards that direction, Mother Nature is going to take those cliffs back. I'm just telling you, it's coming. So and what's under the ground, the soil, the water that's going to be involved in the situation. This fog is going to be presented there for a while. So it's going to be interesting when it starts to get to the west coast.
Do you know anything about the waves in Peru? I heard there were 30-foot waves along the Oregon coast.
So that has to do with, I talked about those plates in the ground. So there's something going on inside our ocean that's creating, but it's creating in a way of reestablishing itself again, the way it did in the past, how the Rubik's Cube is changing again into these plates again. And then I showed something how water, and I said this on the West Coast, how the water all of a sudden is the water's going to be just completely sucked up, and then you're like, where did the water go? It's not. It's uh, not what you think it is going to be. It's literally pulling it down into an Earth's area, sucking that up.
Oops.
You know, how this will come to the surface. That's the whole thing with this. That's what they showed. So there's a lot of events happening right now. This fog can cover a lot of stuff up right now, and that's what's going on.
Well, there are ships, huge ships that have arrived in our atmosphere. That I wonder, is the fog to cover? Are they? So there, I saw a little short video where someone was able to send their own drone up above the clouds and the, well, I don't know how high the clouds were, but anyway, within the clouds they saw a fog making machine like they use in shows and stuff like that. So they are covering stuff up. I guess they don't want people to see the ships.
Well, I think they're going to let them see it, but okay. So when Spirit showed me these bigger ships, how they're put together, it's like sending in like a little Rubik's Cube pieces that fly, and it puts it together. Do you understand? Something's being built above us, and they've told you that.
Ah.
Well, look on the deck clock right now. They have the Golden City showing you above it, behind it.
Oh wow, I haven't seen that. I'll have to look at it.
And then the old world is beneath it. So something's being created, and they always showed me it's like a puzzle being put together. What's going to happen when that actually shows up? The reality of the technology is going to sink into you very fast.
Oops.
Yeah.
Okay, Teresa says in the next 2 days there's major flares that'll be hitting the Earth. Well, those are light codes, information codes. Right. More and more people are waking up, and the more we stay positive, the more things will manifest that we want.
So in New York, look for military vehicles. Okay? That's what's important. Military vehicles in a barrier process of that event. That's ringing, and they say ringing in. So however it's going to ring in, like I said, the debt clock is actually in New York. You can see it rotate away into debt in the process. You need to be paying attention and not to the dang channels on the news outlets that they show you what they want to show you. You need to be looking at some of the other videos that are raw, real stuff, because of how that's going to create. So I feel some type of modern technology is going to be presented there. Okay? So that's what I'm feeling. But I also feel there's going to be a dismantling phase that's going to be shown there too. So you need to look at this event as the ringing in of a new process that's coming. So
things are going to change drastically
overnight.
Yes. And it's what we want. They're already in the subways and the military in New York.
Right.
Oh, somebody said they were not X class. They were three class boss. Somebody else is saying X class fairs just happened. Not sure where they are going to hit. So, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that fog is a big thing.
Yeah.
Happening right now. Let's see, what else? What do you think about the inauguration thing? I don't really want to talk about politics too much, but
it's another operation that's not the existence of actually what you think it is. That's already in a process of an existence. I believe it's another operation that you need to be paying attention to the details, what they're doing there, how they're doing it, what they're implementing. It's not the same 3D process again. These are events that they're showing you the ringing in the Jubilee, ringing in the Golden Ages. That's what this is about in this process. And this is the thing. Right now, and Gail, let me ask you if you could do this too, because I've asked, and I've said it on my YouTube at the last of maybe not today, but when you start to do your shows, the last minute I give a honor to the children for the last minute of the show with a bell, and it seems like nobody cares. They're not paying attention. And I'm not talking about the people, but I'm talking about these truthers. They don't care. They can't even give a minute to
Very
those.
few mention anything about the children.
No,
That's really
that's what
true.
I know. And then I
That's
thought this was
really
about
true.
because that's not quality airtime to bring in some type of reality that where we need to focus. And I'm pissed at all of them. I'm mad at all of them. I'm not going on shows and not doing anything because they're not honoring the kids. They're sitting in there. They're worried about themselves. They're worried about their numbers. I'm not worried about numbers at all. I'm worried about the kids need to be recognized. You can give them a minute at the last minute of your show and give them honor. But they're not doing it. They don't care. And it just blows my mind on this process. So I'm asking you if you would do that at the end of every show.
Oh,
Ring a bell in silence, and then pray
I
for.
don't have a bell.
Well, it don't
I'll have to
matter.
get one. I'll get one. No,
Anyway,
no,
that you
that's
honor the kids. That's the thing. And I'm just saying that because remember, this was supposed to be about them. You know,
exactly.
this whole
Exactly.
situation was
Well,
about them, and no one
that's not
was
hard.
talking.
Yeah, that's sickening. That's not hard to do for me to do, Jenny. I way back when I started my career, I was either with children under 5 working with the WIC program, or I was working with pregnant and nursing women. So yeah, children are
Yeah, this is about the trafficking. This
important.
is about the ones that sacrificed. This is about the ones that got hurt. But to honor them and give them a minute, whether it's a prayer, whether it's a bell, I don't care. I mean, it needs to be recognized because at the end of all this, what's going to come out soon, it's gonna hold your breath down, and it's gonna make you bend your knees. You might as well start honoring them now. And I'm saying this, and it just shows you the programs out there. There's no sympathy for those kids on these platforms.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Jenny, because I've seen that too, and I'm going, how come nobody talks about that? How come it's like you don't want to hear it? You don't want to know that children are raped, tortured, killed, and eaten, and have their blood drawn. I mean, it's horrific, but it's like people don't. I don't want to hear that. That
And that's the
and
thing that
how
irritates me on these shows and everything. It's just like, you know, one I would expect Michael Jaco, honor the kids. Do something to honor the kids at the end of the show. There's another one. Perez, honor the kids at the end of the show. I'm calling you guys out right now. James Rink, honor the kids at the end of the show. Honor them.
Hey, Glenn says I should Google Bell and turn up the volume at the end of the show. I wonder if that would
I'm
work.
just saying. What
do
are
that
we doing here? What are we honoring? Gail, you know it. They need to
I know
doing it.
what people are more concerned about than anything is the RV and the monetary thing. And I understand that, but it's not honoring the children.
Mm-mm. That's the thing.
It's selfish, is what it is.
Right.
Not that people don't deserve relief; they do. Don't misunderstand me, but
and in the kids, it's the adults that have gone through it. It's the children that have gone through it. It's the pain. It's the suffering. That when I want to get that into a national holiday of honoring those victims. But I'm telling you, they're still in a process of the 3D. They're still in a process of saying that no, we're going to go about this and worry about other things. No, because this is where you show you serve the light or the dark. And if any kid was hurt on the street, it was either you be active and do something about it or you don't. I'm tired of them ignoring it. I'm tired of them putting it aside. And that's how this whole situation happened with trafficking, because we all looked the other direction. They all looked the other way because it was done in secret. It was done in front of you. It was done in corporations. It was done across the board. It's wrong. And so, yeah, I'm upset about it. Yeah. Just saying.
They traffic people in all kinds of ways, but trafficking the children is the worst, because they traffic, technically they traffic people even in the courts. It's just a different kind of trafficking, but it's all based on money. Just like the medical profession, you get so much money when you give certain things, and same with the making quotas for cops, making judges having equity in cases and things of that nature. People have to recognize the things that have gone on and how dark they are. And if you don't even see it, how are we ever going to change it? If you don't ever talk about it, how are we going to change it? If you don't talk about the children and what's happening about the children, why can't we put more focus on the children and what's been
That is
happening?
exactly, and that's the whole thing. My projects, my humanity projects, or people don't understand, is the fact that I'm trying to get a big equipment together with high technology, all that stuff together, because I get blocked left and right to get into areas where I know those uh, remains are, and we know who blocks them, and I need clearance to get in there so we can do that. That's all I want to do, is dig in the dirt and dig them up to the surface, so the families have complete peace. There are so many bodies that are buried in the ground, as much as walking upon this earth, that have not been discovered because they've been told to hide it. Well, no, that's the next thing. Then the kids, as in the holiday to be remembered. I don't understand people's intentions anymore of not respecting them. I'm bothered by it. I'm bothered.
And rightly so. Rightly so. Mary's saying, and I think there's truth in this, people are too conditioned and they're afraid to speak. They're afraid. People are in so much fear of authority that they refuse to challenge it. And people say, well, you can't do anything about it. Well, that's if everybody has that attitude and everybody is afraid to challenge authority in even little capacities, nothing's going to change.
What are you going to say, Yeshua,
But
when he asks that question? Why didn't you stand up for my kids? What are you going to say to Spirit at the end? Why didn't you stand up for my kids? Do you know what I'm saying? Gail, that's what I'd be telling them. Why? Why not? Why didn't you use your voice? Why didn't you lead people into the truth?
at least
That tells me
try.
different.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, you
Stop
don't have to have a show to do this.
taking
You can talk
money.
to your neighbors, talk to your relatives, even though they might not want to hear it. It still plants a seed. It still makes them think, even though they might make you think they don't think about it, but they do think about it.
That's the
And
whole thing.
especially now, as the vibration continues to go up, they're just going to have to look at it. That's the only way that'll work.
I don't know, and that's the whole thing. It's disappointing if you look at us as the noble ones walking and looking at this, and that's the whole thing. I mean, you look and you go, if you can't save that, if you can't honor that, there's nothing left to save, because that's our those individuals are our future, and if you can't save them, there's nothing left to save. And I'm just saying
Well,
that as a way of reality coming in on the process.
not to
And
mention the fact that humanity is at an extinction level if things don't change. We have
right,
to save our children. And we have to be able to make children, and doing everything in their power to prevent that from happening. There's so many infertility drugs out there and chemicals out there that are making people infertile. The birth rate is way down. and
Right.
it's not looking good for humanity, and people need to step up.
Right.
It's just
And that
frustrating.
that it's frustrating, but I thought I thought more truthers cared. And I'm saying that because at some point someone has to call them out on this stuff, and they're not they're not listening. They're not paid to listen to that.
Yeah. There's another good point. The Masons have infiltrated the legal system as well as spiritual groups
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
Rosicrucians and the
Mm-hmm.
I Am Saint Germain Church in Mount
Mm-hmm.
Shasta. The
Mm-hmm.
infiltration is phenomenal, and it's amazing how much. But guess what? We have good guys infiltrating the bad guys
Yes,
too,
we do.
and we have to remember that there's a lot of good people too. There's just as many good
Yes,
people
there
as there are
is.
bad, even though it doesn't look like it right now. People are getting their gumption up to be able to speak out, to be able to object, to say enough is enough. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not
Right.
going to wear it. I'm
And that's
not going to
the
get
audience are
shot.
doing it. They're talking about it. My YouTube, they're talking about it. They're ringing the bells. I mean, they're doing that. That's the whole thing. And even with your your audience here that is here, just remind them, if we just honor that little, it changes this energy upon earth, because that's what needs to be remembered at the end of this. Because when that hits, those film strips, in the way that it comes at them and they're hitting the pavement hard and all that stuff, the ones that already done that have seen it, have honored it, looked at it. They were like, yeah, I've been giving that honor to that, because it's flipping the damn table on trafficking.
Yes, and that's what needs to be done.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm passionate today about this. So, um, but yeah, I mean, it's all coming. It's the foundation of where it's going, who we're serving, the whole process of this situation. Because the rods of God are going to react on this stuff. I'm just telling you, in many ways.
Denise Denise is saying that she thinks that when people see the truth, they will grasp the severity of the problem. Maybe then they will do something about the children. Maybe that could be. I mean, we already know the severity
Right,
of the problem,
right,
and we're not necessarily preaching it even to this audience. This is a very awake audience, um, but everyone in the audience is capable of doing whatever they can to support the children more, to get other people to talk about it. Do what you can. That's all we all can do, is do whatever you can. Take the opportunity to bring the subject up to people,
yeah.
and
That's the
they're
whole
not.
thing. And it is sharing it. It is noting it. It is walking in it. There should be parades of this by now and all of it, but it's so dormant. So yeah, um, and
Oh,
whatever
listen to
I got
this
to
one.
do to change that, I'm going to do it. I don't care if it's in my last breath of me. I'll do it.
Lindsay, you'll do what? What are you talking about? I missed it. I was looking that up.
I will make sure that day is preserved, to make sure that people honor that. I also will make sure that
Oh,
they're from here forever, as long as I'm in existence, that they'll have that time that they know that is special for them on any type of show that I do, because I'm not letting them be forgotten in any way anymore.
I'm right there with you, Jenny. Lena's saying, when you talk, and this is true, I've seen this happen too. When you talk about the kids, they just glaze over like you aren't even talking. If some
Yes.
hear and laugh, oh, you don't really believe that. Now, I know I had a good friend who I mentioned this 2 years ago, and she didn't believe it. Oh, that's
Mhm.
not true. And
Right.
I don't know if people are somehow blocked. If I don't, Yeah, I don't get it really. And I noticed they were talking about the adoption of children by a gay couple. I don't think that's a normal environment for a child. Um,
What do you mean?
I don't.
Well, there's
Two gay guys raising a child, adopting a child.
no, I gotta say, we may not agree on this then because I've seen some really good um, gay parents, uh, and they're better than. Uh, I'm just saying I've seen some positives on the side of that because I've seen it personally. So
Hmm.
I don't totally agree with that. I think it's the case situation, but I think there should be an age. There should be a background check on certain things. I think that but you have to understand there's an epidemic of feeding the pedophilia. So I definitely because there's on both sides of gay men and gay women that are they're just desperate for a child in some ways, and I've seen them being honorable in that, and so this puts a black eye into the situation that someone's using as pedophilia. It's bad.
Well, I don't want to judge anybody for their choices, but that choice does not allow
Mm.
children to be made naturally. Um, and right now we are at a very low birth rate, and we need um, to be able
Oh
to
yeah,
have
we
children.
are. But that was the plan. But that the annihilation, that was the plan. And that's why that phenomenon energy that's changing, that you're feeling and you're sensing, um, that it's lining back up instead of pushing things to a depressing process through it, you know, of not wanting to connect of the twin flame and not wanting to bring in that kundalini process and all that stuff. I'm just telling you, it's coming back online. The love is coming back.
Yay! Uh, Looking at people as your brothers and sisters, I think is assuming you had a good family relationship. Sometimes that's not everything that it should be.
Mm.
Um, but and also sometimes trying to see the divine in someone who might not be acting that divine.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, that's why I told
uh,
you you're at a point of I'm here to finish something to get it done, and I'm just not into the entertainment process. This is not. This is very serious, and it impacts people's lives and whether they heal or not. And it's yeah, I'm not happy with the truthers right now in the spiritual community. They're not honoring them in that way. And so maybe this is a kick in the butt that they need, but yeah, all it takes is one person, another person, another person. That's all it takes. And then it'll change.
Let me
That's
see
it.
if what happens here. Hang on one second. Can you hear that?
Are you there?
Yes. Did you? Oh, I'm. I have somebody on another page ringing a bell, but apparently you couldn't hear it.
No.
Okay. Well, that's not going to work, so I'll have to do something else.
So yeah, I mean, so yeah, we'll just see with the process. So I'm telling you, New York to keep pay attention, and the debt clock you need to pay attention to. Those are the things that are going around, and then the dismantling of our government, which is happening. Those are the things you need to be paying attention to this week.
Oops.
Oops.
Sorry. That was the bell sound that changed. Oh yeah. Tim Potter brings up the fact that Tom Hanks said before his meeting his maker at Gitmo, we are everywhere, clearly referring to the Satanists and the pedophiles.
Oh yeah,
And they
yeah.
are. but they're being exposed, and it's not going to continue. I don't know how to tell you, but that's a fact. That's not going to continue. It's being stopped. It will be stopped.
Yeah, it's good.
Maybe actually happened. Let me see what we got here. Here's a question for you. Jenny, did anything actually happen when the Pope opened that special door at the Vatican? Oh yeah, he was supposed to do all these portals or something like that.
No, he don't have no power anymore, and he don't have squat. All they wanted. I was talking
That's
about
it.
the cup that they have that they do the rituals from. I mean, I'm just telling you, there's nothing. And it was sent to make a joke out of it, because it is a joke, because they have no more power. The evil has no more power in that way. So so it's a test. So no.
Yeah. There's one. Yep, Jenny flipped that damn table.
Flip the damn table.
Yep. That's what we all need to do.
Yes.
Flip
Most
the damn
definitely.
table. Make yourself heard. You know this is going on. Talk about it.
Right.
Get it out there.
Exactly. But no, I feel like this has been a good session today with everything.
Are the free phones at Verizon are giving out part of that? I doubt it. I didn't know they were giving out free phones.
I didn't think they are
Did you?
either.
Yeah, I never heard of that one. But anyway, yeah, we keep. What about this, Jenny? Have you heard anything on the rods of God? Actually taking down the satanic sites.
Yes, because I'm the one that told everybody that the rods of God, and then what they're connected to, and I've done videos on my YouTube about this, because the buildings and bridges, you know what I'm saying, and their symbolism. The symbolism has to go to annihilate it from this existence. You want to disrespect them, annihilate their existence of their signature on everything. That has to happen. That's what I talked about in my previous, and I have completely talked about the rods of God, and as how they're connected to, who can do it. Zeus is one of them, and you're going to see that happening more and more. You're going to wake up in the morning, and then all of a sudden, there's just a building's going to be toasted. Bridges are another process of that. The symbolism everywhere. So I don't know what's going to happen to the whole Catholic religion and the whole existence of where that's at right now. It might be just totally cremated.
When people figure out that the same people wrote all three religions, maybe it'll wake them up a little bit. I mean, all the isms are, whether it's Judaism, Christianity, Islam, whatever, those religious dogma. It was written by the same people, designed to get people to fight with each other over who's, my God's better than your God kind of thing. And look what it's done. Look what's been done in the name of religion. Oh my God, absolutely horrific.
Well, I'm not happy with X right now. There's a lot of them on there. They're just arguing. These ones are supposed to be knowing information, and they're just arguing back and forth. And I'm just like, can we just get this done? Can you stop worrying about the stupid titles? We just need to get it done. Oh, I just want to be done. So can we focus on what needs to get done versus who is what? Let's get it done. I'm just telling you, it's happening on all these process. So I'm like, are we in a lower timeline? What's going on there? So I'm seeing it on X, and I'm just like, everybody's like, okay, can we focus on something else that you're supposed to be focusing on? So I backed away from that a little bit just because I can't. I want to focus on the debt, anything that we can get recognized that's happening, that's moving forward. That's what I want to focus on. There's a lot of mirages going on out there right now on different levels, and you just got to swim through it and surface through it. And a lot of times right now, that's what I'm doing. I'm not having time to do anything, but I have to surface through information, look at stuff, and then verify it with spirit, and that's just where we're at. It's just it's it's intense right
I
now.
have to look up True Stream. She says Ellen says that True Stream talks about children all the time. I'll have to check that out. Is that on Rumble or YouTube?
That would be good. Somebody else out there. Um, have to look at that. So yeah, so um,
Oh, it's a good point, Glenn. Glenn said, keep in mind, many of us could have been child victims. That's why many are warriors.
mm-hmm, they are. They definitely are. Um, so yeah, I think this
Yeah,
has
this
been
is
good.
true too.
Oh
The rabbit hole changes us forever. It's kind of like once you see an ugly picture, you can't get it out of your mind. Once you
no,
know
you
the truth, it's like, oh, and you know, it's even really hard once you know the truth in the justice system and you have to deal with their bullshit. And trust me, I've had to
yeah, I know you have.
over really petty stuff.
Right.
And I don't even know if I don't want to go into the whole long story, but all I can say is that I was before I left Sedona, I was arrested for not paying fines, traffic fines for registration or insurance. When they took the vehicle that I had, they took. Um, there's debtor's prison in Arizona. That's totally unconstitutional. But one of the problems that we have is we're not operating under the organic constitution. We're operating under a corporate one, and so that's a big difference. But I don't want to get off on that. But when they did that to me, they strip searched me. That was extremely traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't forgotten it. I mean, that's enough for what? Because I was late on my registration fee, or because I couldn't pay the state of Arizona, a corporation, all the ridiculous amounts of money they wanted for fines that are outrageous. You see, the whole system is sick.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's anyway.
Yeah, it is.
Like I
So
said, I don't want to go any further into it, but it was horrific. I can't believe it. And then the sheriff came up to me at the one that actually did the arresting, who was a little jerk. Said, "Pay your fines." That's what he said to me through the jail cell. Pay your fines. And I
okay,
felt like,
program.
yeah.
So we can probably
But
do another one next week. I just got appointments I got to do still for other stuff. So tonight.
oh, you
I
want
can,
to? Are we done? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, tonight I have to because I got a hectic night that's coming in. So because I didn't think we were
Okay.
going to go live, honestly.
Told you. Yeah, actually, as long as it's not real cloudy and rainy and nasty out, this is obviously working pretty good. We're not having any problems, so that's good.
Exactly.
Um,
But no, I can do it in a week, and I'll have some more
okay,
stuff.
we'll be back in a week. I didn't get through all the questions, but bring your questions again next time.
Yeah, because
In
like I said,
honor.
if I would have known that we were going to stay on longer and that we were just going to, I expected an hour for recording. I didn't think we were going to go on this.
Oh, okay, not a problem. We'll just come on again, and who knows what'll be happening by then. Um,
Yeah.
so I would just like to tell everyone that honor the children, save our children, and be awake and aware of what's going on, and talk
Mhm.
about it. Don't be afraid to talk about it. Show that you've had enough. Enough is enough, and things are going to change for the better,
Right.
or people
Exactly.
will take it into their own hands, and that's, we'll see how it
Exactly.
goes. But good things are
I'm glad
happening,
you're
even
back.
though.
Things are rolling out for you, and you're back in the line of things, and we're going to need you through the process.
Alrighty then. So thank you everyone for being here. I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy that this worked. And Jenny will be back on in about a week. So watch for us. And I've got some interesting guests coming on too. I have someone that's going to talk about Bigfoot and has actual recordings from Bigfoot that are authentic. And then there's one on consciousness, and there's a couple other ones too. So anyway, I'm working on getting it set up. So please watch for the shows. I know they don't notify you. They don't like what I put out. So too bad. We're going to put it out anyway. Once again, thank you. And heartfelt feelings to all children that have been victimized. And
they all know how to contact me and get in touch with me and all that stuff. And the only thing I can say that I can be left with, I'd say, tell them to flip the table. Flip the table, and in many ways, it needs to be flipped now.
Flip it now. Yes. And no more hurting kids.
Right.
Children. All right. Okay, thank you, everyone. We'll see you again soon.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers, stronger than ever. Never say never. Don't look back now, don't look back now. Rise up, stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, finding our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize the moment. Hold on tight and don't let go of all your hopes and dreams that light the way. We control our fate. Destiny awaits. We are all the actors in the stories we create. Hope will be our guide. We'll no longer hide. When we roll like thunder, feel the wonder from inside. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those